I want to share something.
Fire.
Yung recently, every year kasi meron kaming retreat that we do. Ganda na bring up ni Andrian. Kasi we actually, di naman existential crisis as a group together, but we did try to pause a bit. Like, sino na ba tayo? Because based on our own observations, because the world is also changing so fast.
So fast!
I mean, honestly, guys, for sure you feel it, diba? There's always something new. There's always something crazy going on, na, ano. And it's just so hard to ride it or like chase after it. And so minsan, ikaw, napapressure rin kami to act a certain way, which we did try to pause and realize na, ganda yung sinabi ni Andrew, because we found na, hey, we don't have to try to be someone else but us, who we are right now. Especially like, chasing after past glories. Like, hindi na like, we have to accept na. For example, yeah, like, acceptance, we're 30s. Like, there's a new door being open to us, being in this age, or maybe in this new season of life.
And I think for us as a band, whenever we evolve in our lives, but also in our music, baon namin lahat ng pinagdaanan namin. And ngayon na nandito kami sa new phase of life, you know, a lot of us are moving into, you know, building our own families din. Marami kaming baon na bago eh. Bagong pananaw, bagong insight. Pero, nasa amin pa rin yung mga natutunan namin in the past. Kaya, it reflects in the music din that we make. It's new, but it's also informed by everything that we've been through in the past.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's such a freeing thing na you get to experience life with more wisdom, I guess, quote unquote, na parang you went through that already, which is the fun of it for them also, na they get to discover it by themselves in the future, which I think is nice for you guys also, kasi yun nga, it reflects din sa mga ginagawa ninyo, especially in the music, especially now with OPM, the landscape of it's so different from when we first met. It's very, very different now. So for you, what were some challenges, or maybe like the joys of discovering OPM as it is now in its current state?
Recently, we find ourselves hanging out, lalo na si Pat, Agnes, and the others, hanging out with a lot of even the younger artists. And I think whenever we talk about it, it's both a challenge and a joy to be in today's landscape, and it's just because of one thing. It's because it's so diverse. And because it's so diverse, like, everyone has something to listen to. But I think the challenge there is then parang ikaw bilang bahagi ng lahat ng yun, anong music yung ma-offer mo? Yun lang. Pero, joy din siya kasi ang saya kaya nung madaming iba-iba. Parang masaya maging listener din. Tapos masaya din makipag-friends sa iba-ibang klaseng artist.
Sa music ngayon and making, I think parang now more than ever also, it's there's a greater chance and opportunity for artists in general to make music that's very genuinely them, without pressure of having to follow a trend, having to follow a certain sound that works now. Kasi you can't tell anymore. Because what's famous, what people listen to, what goes around, what's on social media, iba-iba na eh. Like,
It's very diverse.
Very, very diverse.
Which is probably very influenced by how you guys were when you guys were starting. Kasi isa kayo sa mga yung parang nung narinig kayo for the first time for sure ng mga tao, parang, ano to? This is something new. So parang I think ang laking bagay na ginawa niyo yun for younger artists like us. Na may mga... Sige, para lang din...
You're working grade
now.
school.
And you're
And he's working now!
I'm working now. Hindi. Na yan nga, na parang nabigyan kami nung thought na parang pwede kami mag-try ng something na wala pang ibang gumagawa. Na hindi mo kailangan mag-fall into one certain category para makapag-try mag-music.
Yeah.
Alam mo, ang ganda na sabi mo yan. Ang ganda ng reflection na to kasi I think in general, yung music sa atin, ganun yung daloy niya eh. Parang, kasi in a way, nung panahong nagsisimula kami, noong 2017, ganun din yung feeling namin dahil nauna yung sobrang daming influence and mga banda and artist sa amin. If you think of people like sila Army, Milyare, sila Ebe, ganyan. Parang no, for the time that they came out with their stuff, ang tapang din na parang hindi to uso ngayon, pero sige, gagawin ko siya. Tas pinakinggan siya ng mga tao. So parang kami, nung nagsisimula kami, yung pananaw namin, kung kaya nilang gawin yun, pwede rin natin siyang subukan. Subukan, at least. Yeah. Tapos, yun. Kaya ang sarap din ng feeling na, in a way, dahil pinagpatuloy mo yung sinimulan nila, may nagpapatuloy din nung sinimulan mo, in a way. So parang flow lang siya. And someday, yung mga nagsisimula ngayon, that will also serve as inspiration for those even more in the future.
There's so much room for opportunity to release your music and put it out there. But also on the flip side, I can imagine the fact that it's like that can also be scary and pressuring, especially for younger people who are, because there's so much available to you.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang sometimes it's so overwhelming that you don't really know which direction. So what do you think would be the best? Yeah, I don't know, like that whole defining factor for them to make
Honestly, na overwhelmed din kami.
Yeah.
A lot of times. And with every release that we have, like we go through this filtering process of creation. And part of it is exactly that. Na how will this fit in with what's happening? Will people listen to it ba? How will it reach people? Because there's so much nga out there. But Andrew's gonna continue what I'm gonna say.
Totoo.
Yun na yun.
I mean, even with our latest album, The Traveler Across Dimensions, we were at a crossroads of what we should be doing, because third album, there's always like this feeling of like, third time's the charm, but like, di naman. Pero in terms of wanting to do something that we felt that we really wanted to do, and between something that we felt like, for sure naman, papakinggan to ng mga tao. At the end of the day, you really don't know. So if you don't know anyway, why not just go with the thing that you want to do? Because like, either way, it's a question mark. In that goes with anything in life, TBH, na whether you're gonna do something for someone else or do something for yourself. The end result is never really that clear. So just do the thing.
Yung sagot sa pagka-overwhelm, walang, in as much as gusto ko magbigay ng clear answer and straightforward answer dun. Wala eh. Kasi, iba-iba rin yung pinagmumulan ng bawat isang artist. Pero, may mga pwedeng parang elements na pwede kang matulungan. Ang isang masasabi ko is community. I feel like, and as cliche as that probably sounds, it's real and it's very important. It helps a lot. Like, when you surround yourself with the right people, and when you say right, wala ngang parang right so yung iba wrong eh. Kasi right people for you. Right. Meaning like-minded energy, parang same values that you uphold. Kasi the values that you uphold might not be the exact same values that other people uphold, and that's fine as long as the people you surround yourself with parang same yung pananaw nyo. Kasi you don't feel too alone in the journey, because it gets lonely at times because you feel like no one understands you. You feel like no one gets what you're trying to say. Pero kung may mga kasama ka sa biyahe, in a way, malaking tulong talaga yun. Lalo na kapag sinusubukan mo maglabas ng art at ng music at pag nagsisimula ka.
And I feel like when you're around people that agree with what you want to do and what you do, it's them din na dahil naintindihan nila kung saan ka nang gagaling, sila rin yung mag-ground sa'yo na parang this is not what to do.
Oo. Yung mga taong mag-agree at magdi-disagree.
Disagree, yes.
Exactly.
Tama.
Siyempre, you guys have gone through, this is your third studio album. And you've done these albums with different people that are probably fit with whatever music you wanted to do for this album, for this album, for this album. How did you guys put up a team to work on this one, considering it's so different from what you guys have been doing?
Yes.
Good question. Ano siya eh, sobrang believer kami na the right people cross paths with you at the right time. And that's exactly what happened with this one. Since sobrang unlikely nga talaga. Sobra. Kasi yung naging producer namin for this album turned out to be one of the best friends of the band din. His name is Ziv. So he's like a
Nice guy.
he's an interesting guy because he was born in Davao, but he's actually like Korean.
Yeah.
Parang
Ooh.
pastor's kid siya, basically. And
Works in
then
music elsewhere.
he worked in music elsewhere, all over the, as in like
Oo.
mostly in Asia, pero pati sa London, ganyan. Tapos, ano lang, we met through a friend of a friend at a very unlikely time. Kasi, as in like, sobrang narrow talaga nung, as in down to, yung only way na mag-meet kami nung isang time was, isang sobrang crucial na parang hangout was, nag-ring yung fire alarm sa bahay, kaya nagising ako. Tapos, tinawagan din siya nung dad niya at the same time. Sabi nga, nung dad niya, go meet with these people, ganyan. So, as in, medyo ganong, medyo halos like supernatural, spiritual things. Pero, it is what it is. And then, yun. So, I think though, like, ever since, it's always been like that for us. Like, the people who assemble to make something come to life sa music, lagi siyang yung di mo pinipilit. Nangyayari lang siya. So basically, I think it's still community kasi the people that resonate with what you're trying to say gravitate towards you. And
When you were starting to do the album, kasi parang obviously nauna si Could Be Something, was this, parang the direction of the album, was it informed by this relationship with Ziv, or was this an already existing concept that you guys had before that whole, parang ano ba yun, parang, uy, may album kami na bagay na mag-work tayo together? Or was this a collective thing?
it was an emerging thing, I would say. Parang, for example, kasi yung Could Be Something, we had the chance to work with Sam Marquez and Tim Marquez of One Click Street. Ano siya eh, parang, we knew that it was a part of something, and so they were a part of the community that came together for that album. But life happened na parang, may katuloy pa yung story eh. And without being too figurative about it, kasi yung mga ibang songs, parang, what completes the picture in terms of like, who produces it, ganyan. And then, so I would say it was informed by the songs that came prior, but we were up just still about to cross paths with the person who would like really help us complete the story that became that album, parang ganun. Pero yun nga astig din kasi the fact na naka-work namin si Sam and Tim Marquez for 2 or 3 of the other songs, this Indonesian producer who also became our good friend, si Petra, si Hombing. And, of course, our longtime producer, si John Paul Verona. Sobrang para siyang naging full circle for us, like, because we were able to work with someone who we actually played alongside with sa mga shows, sila Sam and Tim. And then, someone who who's kind of like alam mo yung Indonesia kasi na music scene, community. Para siyang alternate dimension nung nangyayari dito.
Sobrang lapit. Pati
Diba?
sound-wise.
Yeah.
Astig. Kaya parang to be able to work with that person, si Petra is also like a dream for us. And then, si JP din, kasi since as in like leaves katang isip, siya na yun eh. JP Verona. And then, si Ziv, who became like, almost like a band bestie. Parang ganun.
And it's nice to see how things eventually fall into place, no? Parang, I mean, it's not like they just fall, wala lang.
Yeah.
Parang you work towards something and then they make sense when you look back at it. Sabi nga ni Steve Jobs.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
Na you cannot connect the dots looking forward, only when you look backwards. And parang yun nga. Diba? Yes.
Ano siya, it's always a
Oo.
tricky thing for us and for anyone trying to to go for something then kasi parang that's the reality of it like much as things fall into place and you really have to stay grounded and authentic to who you are. The reality is there's also a lot of work to be done and you have to really put in the work. So parang how do you strike that balance of like pacing pero you're also moving forward. Parang ganun. It's really a great mystery when it comes to the work that we do.
For
Yeah.
sure.